Performance this evening. That run keeps going on. Fulham's run has been marvellous.
Yeah, a special night for us. I think we deserve the win. We know how difficult it is to play against Chelsea. They are in a difficult situation at the moment, but they have a good team. They have a really good team. It was a special night for me, especially to play against them. And yeah, I think we deserve it, and we have to carry on. We have to carry on.
You didn't celebrate big time there. You kept it respectful because of the 7 years he had at Chelsea, I'm sure.
Amazing 7 years there. I have a big respect for the fans and also for the club, people that works there, and yeah. But I'm playing for Fulham. I have to do my best, and yeah, it was a special night.
Tim joined us, a special night, Willian says. We can hear it behind us. Tremendous form at the moment, that run, and the performance tonight as well, the proper fight.
Yeah, listen, the last couple of games we've had to show a little bit more fight, a little bit more grit, a little bit more determination, and you know, when we can show that side of our game and still play well with the ball, you know, it bodes well for what we're doing, and it's a big reason for the kind of run we're on right now.
And there was a lot of talk about Mitrovic, but he was going to miss him tonight. Of course, you didn't.
I told you there were goals in the team. You know, guys stepping up. Willie obviously scoring a goal. Vinny with a big header to put us on top, and you know, we're not a one-trick pony. We definitely have the guys in the team that can finish and put the ball away.
You're above Liverpool in the table right now. It's pretty impressive.
It is what it is. It's as the manager says, it's a consequence of everything that we're doing, the hard work that we're doing on the training ground, and you know, the togetherness of the guys in the club, and you know, the fans. It's, you know, we're not looking at the table, but you know, we find ourselves in a very good position.
Congratulations, Sim. Congratulations, William. Well played. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, well played to the both of them. And look, more points on the board already than they managed in the whole of their last Premier.
Change games. João Felix, who I thought was brilliant tonight. I thought he showed straight away. I've seen enough in 45 minutes to know that he's going to be a good signing for Chelsea, because he showed his ability, he showed his personality. But he had a moment of madness. It changed the game. I thought Chelsea went on after that for the first 10, 15 minutes and looked good, you know, even down to 10 men. But it's hard in the Premier League. You know, if you're down a man and you're constantly getting overloads in different parts of the pitch. Graham Potter tried to address that when he brought on the 4 subs. But ultimately, the big moments in football games are going against Chelsea Football Club, and they're going against Graham Potter, and that something needs to change. Not in that sense, but something needs to change in the sense they need a goal, a fluky win, a goal. You know, just to build confidence back into the team.
It's also an expensive red card as well. You've been doing some maths. What's it going to cost them to have João Felix out for the next 3 matches?
I'm not good at maths, James, but it's around 600 grand, I think it was, per game. So it's not good. Obviously, there's 9 million quid they paid for a loan. But as Joe said, I think technically he was brilliant. He showed lots of lovely touches. You know, he will be a great player, but it was a moment of madness tonight that cost Chelsea.
All right, well, look, plenty more for the 4 of us to discuss before we finish at 10:30 this evening. Just a quick reminder, the next couple of weeks they're now partying in the streets rather than inside the stadium. But let's just sort of run through the whole evening. And, you know, individual errors has been a recurring theme from a Chelsea perspective tonight. So let's go back to the opening goal. And it was an individual error. It's one where the player involved, though, and Joe made the point, didn't shrink after making the error, did he?
No, he didn't. I thought he performed very well tonight in the game. And sometimes you get away with them little mistakes. We were just speaking then, weren't we, off air? When he's made that mistake, in his head, he's going to think, please let me get away with this, please let me get away with this. And then he won't do it again in the rest of the game, I would imagine. I think this one here, look, just there, he's thinking, please, somebody bail me out. And tonight, by the way, we haven't mentioned that, but he was brilliant. But he learned, like you said, like Joe said, sorry, he didn't shrink in the game, and he had a very good game. But ultimately, individual mistakes sometimes can cost you.
Initially, in that passage of play there, he did really well tackling. It was.
Sponsored by Bet365.
When you finish playing, it can be pretty tough, especially when you're transitioning into a corporate world. Bio will be fine though, it took us all a bit of time. He's really grown into his role here.
And welcome back to Craven Cottage. It wasn't a plan for us to go on to an ad break for quite that long. All we know is that we lost all the power and we turned around and Peter Crouch was holding a plug. So
Charge the phone, Jack.
so, there's a generator that sadly lost power, and it meant that we weren't able to broadcast to you. This doesn't normally happen, I promise.
I believe you.
There's an unlucky charm somewhere in the room. Look, let's carry on where we were. We'll do it quickly, but I know lots of you are watching still and you still want to see exactly what happened in the game and get the reaction from the guys. So we saw 1-0. We've just spoken about that and an individual error. Then the second half started. Chelsea came out, made it 1-1. And, you know, at that point, you were one of the people in the room thinking, here we go.
Yeah, Chelsea really ascendancy there, move. It's a lovely ball in from Mason Mount. He actually goes for goal. That isn't one where he's trying to fizz it across. He's looking to score there. You know, a little bit of movement from Azpilicueta, and he drops to Koulibaly, he just scuffs it in, he gets in, gets the job done. And at this point in the game, I thought to myself, you know, even go to a back four and press the game and go. Chelsea were on the ascendancy, they were going to win the game comfortably. But it's a scrappy goal, and I thought it's exactly what they needed. Chelsea, just something like that, get them over there. Graham Potter was happy, and then we had the crazy moment from João Felix.
Well, let's talk about this because it's kind of one of the themes of the evening, really, is Chelsea not doing themselves any favours, and this is another one.
We've been there. I mean, you have a touch, it just gets away from you, and you want to make amends for the bad touch, and he's just lunged in. And there's no way he's hurt him there. You know, it's basically a tap on the shin, but he's reckless, he's out of control, and unfortunately, it's a red card.
And where were Chelsea now from a striking perspective? They needed a goal tonight and didn't bring on Aubameyang. They're now without João Felix for the next 3 matches. Who's going to get the goals?
Well, Kai Havertz will play as the number 9. I think that's a clear message to Aubameyang. A big game for Graham Potter and Chelsea tonight, and he's looked at he's brought 4 players on, and he's not looked at him. So I think that's a clear message to where he sees Aubameyang in the pecking order. So I think Kai Havertz is going to have to be the one that leads the line for the next foreseeable future. But the positives are João Felix did show signs that he can make things happen in a Chelsea shirt.
What did you think of him?
I thought he was very sharp. I thought he was very good.
Too sharp.
Yeah, I think like Peter says as well, that with the challenge, I think we've all been there where you take a heavy touch and you want to get there and make amends, like Pete said. So obviously the referee had no choice with that one. But like I said, after the half-time, everything positive was coming through him. Everything that they were creating, shots, he was drawing fouls. I thought he had a really positive evening up until then.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be what looks to be is going to be a big miss in the next 3 games.
Absolutely. Look, we're going to talk about the winner for Fulham from a Chelsea defensive perspective on your tablet in a moment. But look, we can't not talk about the quality from Fulham this evening, and the winning goal was quality from them.
Well, Pereira did it all night. I mean, as a forward, watching someone deliver the ball in the manner that he does time and time again from set pieces, when he's out wide, you know, his delivery was first class all game. And listen, I've got my thoughts on Kepa and where he's going, and defensively as well. But Vinicius, you know, we're worried about Mitrovic not being there, and he's come up trumps and got the winner.
He must have been thinking to himself, how on earth have I found myself in this position from a looping cross where I'm just going to head it? He doesn't even have to do anything. Let's see, he hit his head, cushion it into an open. It's a fantastic ball from Pereira. From Chelsea's perspective, on the other hand, not so good. You know, we talked about moments in the game, Jake, and doing the right things and getting the small details right. And we'll just play it on slowly here. You know, as Fulham's getting the build-up play here, goes out wide, it goes to Pereira. And I talked to Gaz, I said, how on earth, before we talk about the major error, which was Kepa's, you know, Trevor, I think, is an outstanding player, and he's done fantastic with the club, but he's got Vinicius in his sights. He's got eyes on him in this situation. The ball's going to come in at some point, and how on earth has Vinicius found himself in this area of the pitch with a free header at goal? And we'll just play it on slide, a bit of build-up, we get set back. Look, he's okay, Chalobah, he's okay. Now, clearly, if you stop it, and we'll just go back, oh, no, we'll play there. Right, now he's lost him. Now, the glaring error for me on this occasion is Kepa. If he reads the flight of the ball, gets back in his goal, he cannot score. It's a lovely ball. Look, and as he comes in, he gambles on it. Kepa plays it on. He gambles on it. He gambles, and then we'll just stop it there. If he would have stayed on his line in this position, how hard is that as a header, Crouchy, to score?
I mean, he's in absolute no man's land. Vinicius ends up with an open goal. If Kepa stays on his line there, he's going away from goal. It's such a difficult header, but he doesn't even have to get any power in it. It's a massive error from Kepa.
I think Gaz was saying it. He said the only thing would have excused Trevor Chalobah in that situation if there was midfield runners. They weren't. If we just quickly, if I played it back just slightly there, and you see from this perspective, when he's crossing the ball in, and in here now, if you're a betting man, as the ball comes in, 3 Chelsea players and the goalkeeper, how can he score? And it's just small errors, isn't it?
I think if you take that back a little bit, you can see, like you said earlier, I think Chalobah was in a good position from when the ball was at his feet. It's an unbelievable cross. But I just wonder how he's got, or why he's maybe made that first movement forward. Maybe, I think if there's a midfield runner coming, I could maybe understand that. I think that's probably the only thing that's let him down in that situation. He's made the first movement forward, when really, if you just go side there, I think he would have been able to affect that a little bit better.
But even if Kepa makes a decision to come, you've got to come all the way. You know, like it's one or the other. He's not made a decision. He's in between both, staying on his line or coming out.
Yeah. Okay.
Minor details cost Chelsea again tonight.
Indeed. However, for Fulham, those minor details meant they got the 3 points. Let's hear from Marco Silva, the Fulham boss. Yet another win for him.
Marco, the wonderful run goes on. You must be delighted with that performance tonight.
Delighted with the result, definitely. Pleased with the first half. 2, second half was not at our best level. And this is really the good thing that we can take as a group. Our players, they know as well, and we know. Even second half, if you didn't perform at our best level, and we didn't, definitely, we were able to win a football match against a top side, even if they are in a bad run. Definitely, they are Chelsea, and I said yesterday that they are Chelsea, and everyone knows what that means. Top quality players, with a great manager. I have to say, in this moment, they are in a bad run. I have to say that, and of course, it was a tough game for us. The first half was really good. We didn't start really well the game. We took some time to adjust. They started the game with the 3 at the back, with the moves from Mount and John Felix created some problems for us between the lines and that half space runs. Always, we took some time to adjust, but after we adjust, and I have to congratulate the players with maturity, we adjusted in that. We had chances as well. Of course, we were more clinical than them first half. Second half, we start really not good when you consider the goal. The first 2 minutes of the second half, of course, is not the best way to start against the top side. Of course, gave the boost to them to start to control, and after came the red card. And of course, it was our obligation to try to win the game, and we did it.
Was that the turning point, the red card? I mean, no argument about the card, but was that a pivotal point?
It's always important when you play against 10, of course, because that I said that it was our obligation to go and try to win the football match. From the bench, we changed it with TC and Harry Wilson in that moment. We knew that Tom Carney will give us much more things in our offensive part, much more creativity as well, and to give a bit more calmness for our team on the ball as well. And he did it. He's doing always so far this season. And of course, come the goal, great cross from Andreas. Important goal for Carlos Vinicius as well. It was really important for him. I think he deserves this moment because it's always really tough to be in the shadow of a top scorer like a beast like Mitrovic and all what he's doing for his football club. Of course, it's always tough for the other striker that is in his football club. He needs time to adapt. Sometimes just play 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Of course, with more time, he's improving as well. And I think he deserves. It was an important moment for him and for our fans. I have to say that last 20 years, of course, the superiority from Chelsea in this type of games is being huge. Normal, of course, completely different targets, different goals for both teams, completely different budgets, all the things, and they are being really superior at our football club. I think it was a great night for our fans. I think they go home now with a very good feeling, and is everything what we want to give them.
Doing a great job, isn't he? Really clear style of play. Great on set piece.
Yeah, he's done a great job right from the minute once he came in here, obviously getting them up, and you know the ability and the signings they've made as well for Pellegrini, Willian. Pereira, they've got some real quality in there, and their top goal scorer, Mitrovic, obviously didn't play tonight, but you know, they're building something special here.
Impressive.
Yeah, they're in dreamland, aren't they? If you think about the goal at the start of the season is to stay in the division, and what they're 3 wins off achieving that already at this stage. So incredible, playing really well, playing with loads of confidence, and look, a very good team.
Meanwhile, another difficult evening from a Chelsea perspective. Let's get the post-match verdict of Graham Potter. He's now with Des.
Graham, that's been a very tough night for you. How can you sum that up?
I thought we started quite well. Had a really good chance early. Felt in decent control of the game. Won the ball back high. Created some opportunities. Maybe missed the last pass. A couple of mistakes lead to their goal. And then obviously you've got to dig in a bit. I thought we responded second half well. And then the red card is obviously changes the game in terms of makes it more difficult for us. I thought the application when we're down to 10 was really, really good. Disappointed with the goal because it's we can do better with that, and in the end that's what's cost us. So I'm really disappointed to lose.
The turning point being the red card. I mean, any argument about that? I can see why his blood was up. He kind of lunged, lost possession.
Yeah, and you know, there's a reaction from the side, and it's a forwards tackle, shall we say? I think there was too much malice in it, and I think it got too much of the player. But I understand why he's been sent off.
He'd been playing pretty well up to that point. He looked very sharp.
Yep.
You're going to lose him now for 3 games, aren't you?
Yeah, it's another blow. It's the hits just keep coming at the moment. That's how it is. But I thought he was really good. You could see his quality in the game. So obviously it's disappointing, doubly disappointing for us.
Talking about hits, Zakaria, is that another injury?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's it's another one. We'll see how he is.
It's just one after another, isn't it?
Yeah, it is at the moment. It's tough, that's for sure. I feel for the supporters, and I feel for the players, and feel for everybody connected with the club. It's a tough moment for us.
And what can you do? Just keep battling on and hope something clicks, something happens?
Yeah, like I said, there was some positives there. A couple of decent opportunities for us, and chances, and just miss passes, final bits. But we have to keep working. There's no other solution. You've got to keep working, stay together, keep focused, move to the next match, and try to get the 3 points.
Thanks, Graham.
Thank you.
He looks downcast, doesn't he? I mean, all 3 of you were impressed with large spells of Chelsea, particularly in that first half. But yet again, the conversation after the match is going to be about the result, not the performance, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, of course, because that's the pressure of being at Chelsea and being at a top club. But I do really feel for him. I feel he's come into a situation where there's a change in ownership. There's changes in and around the training ground which people may not be aware of, and I just feel that it just needs to settle. He's got an injury list as long as your arm, with world-class players in that list.
And another name added to it this evening. You know?
And he's just getting no look. I think it really is a bit of patience from the fans and the club, and I really like what he did at Brighton. I think he's a top manager. I hope he gets the time to stamp his authority on it.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs time. He needs time. And the fans, we saw a little bit of frustration creeping into him here, and they just got to understand that there's so much change that's going on. The club's been so stable in its own unique way over the last 20-odd years and been successful. You know, you've come in and you're changing things behind the scenes. You're changing recruitment. You have new owners. You've got new ideas about everything at the club. And I think Graham Potter's acquitted himself very well. I think he speaking to Des there, you know, he's honest. You know, what more can he do other than you keep doing what you're doing, you keep believing in the players. That list of players injured, that is a top team. He's got a whole team that would finish comfortably in the top 5 or 6 in the Premier League out injured. So you have to keep going. The fans should stick with him, should stick with the players, you know. And I know that the big opportunity now for the characters in there, your Mason Mounts, your Thiago Silvas, your Jorginhos, your Kantés, these big players, the big hitters in there, get in there tomorrow morning, get everyone going, because you've got a difficult game at the weekend against Crystal Palace side, an energetic, athletic, good side at Stamford Bridge, and just get amongst sort of a siege mentality, get everyone in, all the players, and just go again, because I believe we've seen enough little sparks of Chelsea tonight where there's enough in there to know that the results will turn.
It's very different for Chelsea fans. Over the last 20 years, you go for a spell like this, under the previous regime, the manager's gone.
Yeah.
And then instant success maybe with the next manager in. So for these Chelsea fans, as you say, it's been a long, long time. They've seen it's a different direction now, and this direction is the manager's been given a 6-year contract. They've changed a lot behind the scenes, and they're planning on building something. And that doesn't work if you go and sack him now, or do a knee-jerk reaction. You'd like to think they're not going to do that, but are the fans going to stick by and watch this for much longer? Because let's be honest, it's not where Chelsea should be at the minute.
It's a whole generation of Chelsea fans that are not used to this. Don't usually get this long before there's a change. But this is not the way forward, and this is not what Chelsea have to do. To go and catch Man City, there needs to be structure. There needs to be there needs to be foundations. And Graham Potter's job is to put all the foundations in, whilst he's got an injury list as long as your arm, like Gaz says. He's got staff changing, he's got ethos of the club, culture of the club changing, and he's got some unhappy fans as well. But he is the man to steer it, in my opinion, because I think he will come out of this. He'll have Reece James back, he'll have Chilwell back, he'll have Kante back, start winning games, confidence will start going, and it'll be better as a manager himself, and the team will be better for going through this tough period. I don't think there's any need to panic. It's a real tough time, and all Chelsea fans are hurting. But you have to keep going and keep believing in Graham Potter and what he's doing and what the club are trying to achieve.
And from the people that you still speak to there and what you know of Chelsea, for all that there are some Chelsea fans that just think change the manager, that doesn't change the problems, right?
No, like we said before, there's a lot of change at the club, and it needs to settle down. It feels very familiar. One season we finished 10th, I think it was around 10th, and the next season we won the title. So it feels very similar. I remember the feeling when we was 10th and everything was against you. You felt the pressure, even as experienced players, you felt the pressure, and it's how you react. And like Joe said, I think the more experienced players in there that drive the standards. I saw an interview with Azpilicueta a couple of weeks ago, and he said it's time to be humble, it's time to work even harder. You have to work to change it. But you feel the pressure, and the big players will ultimately help to change that and help to guide the young players through this time.
Very good. That's pretty much it for us this evening. By the time we return, a new generator and a non-squeaky sofa at top of the to-do list, I'll tell you that much. I won't be returning, but Lindsay will, and she'll be bringing the Manchester derby with her. Manchester United against Manchester City, Saturday, 11:30. BT Sport 1 and BT Sport Ultimate. We're looking forward to that one. And the big games keep on coming this weekend. Look at that, the Spanish Super Cup final. Real Madrid against Barcelona. What a reason to put the TV on a Sunday evening. Gentlemen, thank you very much. So your debut with BT Sports.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
It was eventful. Hopefully they
wasn't it?
Back, maybe.
We will have you back. But please stop squeaking the sofa. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Big congratulations to Fulham. Another huge win for them. More headaches for Graham Potter and Chelsea fans. We'll see you very soon. Good night.